Dr. Permanente. I want to thank you all for being here. We have a special focus today around mental health and well-being. And we're so happy to have the Black Mental Health Alliance with us today, and one of their board members and practicing clinician, Miss Jada McCray. Can't hear me?
No, it sounds low.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Of course, Jada's not going to need it.
Anyway, Jada McCray will speak about black holes. She is a licensed clinical social worker. Okay, is this any better?
Yes.
Because I want to make sure you all get to hear this message.
Lynn,
Can you hear her?
No.
Sure, okay. Jada McCray
Yeah,
is
tell
a
her to turn
licensed
it up.
clinical social worker and a board member of the Black Mental Health Alliance. They are a resource center, a resource for our city and our state for mental health and well-being resources. I want you all to give her your full attention to this message. It is critically important. Miss Jada McCray. Everybody give her a hand.
Y'all can do better for a hometown girl, can't you? Come on. Give it up for you. Hi, everybody. How you doing today? Thank you so much for coming out. I was so excited when they asked me to speak today. They asked me to speak about Black teenage mental health and the crisis that we're having. For people who don't know, they've determined that within the last 10 years, suicide rates among Black teenagers and adolescents has doubled. So something is going on critically with our children, that they are resorting to taking their own lives. And so when you hear that, it makes you think, what exactly is happening in our society that people have gotten the okay to destroy themselves? It lets you know that if a person is harming themselves in such a way that there's no hope, and there's a feeling of hopelessness. The thing that helps people to hold on, even if you have mental health issues and mental disease, is that there's a sense of one day it'll get better. With our children, I think and I believe that they're losing the sense that things are going to get better. And when you look at the state of Black children, you look at the infant mortality rate, you realize that the messages that they're getting is that their lives are worth less than other people. And so when you take that into consideration, along with joblessness in the states of our schools, it becomes obvious why they feel like it's okay to destroy themselves. So first I want to just touch upon that. There have been recent studies with Black maternal health that have showed that Black mothers are less likely to be taken seriously with their concerns when they're in the maternity ward, which increases the fetal mortality rate and the mother mortality rate. So already, the signs that you're getting from society is that I'm less than, I'm not worthy, and this is before you're even born. After that, Black children are less likely to get actual medical help that they should, meaning vaccines and proper nourishment and nutrition. If you look at your neighborhoods, the neighborhoods that we have in the city, you're less likely to find a Whole Foods anywhere around. Primarily, Black children are forced to get their food and their nourishment from corner stores that aren't necessarily regulated by the health department. So you're less likely to have the nourishment of fresh fruits and vegetables if you're a Black child. What people don't know is that a lot of times with the food stamps that families get for low-income families, you have options to get fresh vegetables and fresh fruits through farmers markets, etc. But it's not openly available to you. And what you get is a lot of processed and packaged foods. This is where mental health comes in. People don't understand that there's a strong connection between your gut, your stomach, what you take in, and mental health and mental disease and how you feel. There have been a lot of studies that have shown that people who constantly eat sugar, fat, and salt are more likely to have depression and anxiety disorders. And so you're thinking this is just how I feel, but something as basic as getting proper nourishment is not available to our children. So that's step 2, food deserts in our cities. Step 3 that we also must be mindful of is the state and condition of the violence in our cities as well. And so it's something like people just assume that you should get over it. But our children are experiencing death and loss and murder without ever being able to have the proper chance to grieve imagine people just telling you that you must get over your cousin being killed? Can you imagine people telling you you just have to get over your best friend being shot? So by the time that you're 10 years old, you know of people in your family that have died and have been murdered, people in your neighborhood that have died and been murdered, and you should just get over it and be strong. That would be fine if we were Vikings in a Viking village, but we're human beings. And so there's no just getting over it and being strong. We have to make sure that we're providing our children with the proper coping skills and resources needed to manage how they're feeling and manage their emotions, because they're human beings. And so we have to make sure that we're taking those things into consideration. So with that, we're also asking our children, with all of these emotions and all of this loss and all of this chaos, without proper nourishment, without proper access to education and health care, we're then saying, oh, then go to school, concentrate, and do well. Oh, okay. Who? Not me? Can you do that when you're starting off with less than? Can you focus and concentrate? And so after that's being said, you're then forced to go to school and you become labeled a problem because you can't focus. You can't concentrate. You don't have the tools that you need to succeed. So if I'm forced to come somewhere every single day and I'm a problem, how then am I going to act? Who is intervening on my behalf to advocate for me? To say that there are things that I need? Who's empowering my parents, if I have them, to come to my school and advocate for me for the needs that I have? A lot of times in my line of work, we'll have parents with a child who has an IEP or a 504 plan, and the parents themselves are intimidated to come to the school and intimidated to come to talk to professionals because they're aware of what they don't know and don't have anybody to support them and walk them through. So then there's a feeling of helplessness that this child, because never make the mistake to think that low-income families that suffer from mental disease don't love their children as much as you do, because they do. What they don't have is access and resources to be able to advocate for their children and advocate for the mental health of their children. My children are fine. If my children were going through depression or anxiety or had ADHD or were diagnosed with anything else, I can take them to a doctor. I can take them to a specialist. If I don't agree with what the school says, I have the wherewithal to say, no, that's not true. I need a second opinion because that's me. But when you factor in socioeconomic problems, other children don't have that. All children need to be as privileged as my children and your children, and deserve the help and care and attention that my children and your children have. If my children lost someone and they were depressed and they had anxiety, I would ensure that they had access to proper mental health treatment so that they could manage those things and learn coping skills. All children deserve access to all of these things. So we need to be mindful that when we're making plans and we're outreaching to people, we need to meet people where they are and help them where they are and not dismiss them because they have less than. Because just because you have less does not mean that you are less. So we need to be mindful of the messaging that we're teaching our children, that they're less than. And also social factors as well. So I've already touched on, we have biological factors, we have access to medical care, we have educational factors, we have access to mental health as an issue, but also I want you to think about societal factors and what we're teaching our children every day when they turn on the news and social media. Lord, don't ever make me a hashtag. I don't want to die for a cause and I'm forgotten about a week later. So your children, your sons and your daughters are seeing people every day that are killed on social media by authority figures and people in authority that are positioned to protect us. And the only thing that they get is 24 hours of media, maybe, and a hashtag. What does that say about your life? What does that say about the worth of your life? If all I can be is a hashtag and a blip on a 24-hour news cycle. You mean nothing to the world is what you take in. So with all of these things, I don't have access to proper nutrition. I don't have access to proper education. I don't have access to my humanity. Why should I not take my life is what your children are asking themselves. What we have to do is make sure that if the rest of the world do not value poor and black children and children of color, we have to value poor and black children and children of color. I don't know if you're like me, But I have children in my family. I have black males in my family. They're not robbers. They're not criminals. They're not the people that are demonized, that they're portrayed to be on the media. They're people with worth and value, that have good heart and sense of humor. So we can't allow them to be portrayed in that way. And if they are, we have to do everything that we can in our homes, in our communities, to pour in them something different. You have worth, black boy. You have value, black girl. Your life matters, black child. You understand what I'm saying? So we all have to get on board. It is an epidemic at this point, and the fact that it's not been addressed in the media is a tragedy. Do you realize that if suicide rates had doubled with any other children in this country, any other children from different socioeconomic levels, there would be people marching in the street? Where are the people for black children committing suicide? Where? You've not seen anything about it. And unless you read a study by the CDC, you probably wouldn't know about it. Unless you caught an article that was a blip for one day in Newsweek, you probably wouldn't know either. But I'm here to tell you, it's an epidemic and it's a crisis for us. And we must do something about it. We have to protect the minds of our children. The first step to protecting the minds of your children is protecting your own mind, guarding your own mind, checking on yourself. We don't all have to be strong. I'm not a pack mule. I'm not going to carry it all. I don't know about you, but that's a myth. The strong black woman, we've hidden behind that like it's a shield or like it's a badge of honor. What it says is, I'm going to put so much on you, I think you can take it. And you take so much that we believe you can keep going. You don't have to. You're human. So you need to identify who are your natural supports, who are your natural resources that you need to talk to. Is it your cousin? It doesn't necessarily have to be a therapist. Is it your cousin? You may not even have thought of that, the person that you call when something is wrong. Is it your house of worship? Is it your church that feeds into you? You can have somebody down the street. You know how we are. We pick up a cousin everywhere we go. So, it's people, I still don't know if I'm blood related to them or not. But what I know is that's part of my natural support. And also countering the messages that our children and that we get from our media every day. Every time you see a fight video, you don't have to click on that. Does everybody know, you know what a door is for? The doors to your home? You close the door to your home to keep the outside world out so that you can be safe in your home. When you have your door closed, there's a certain amount of certainty that I'm safe where I am. When you open the door, you let the world in. Am I right? Social media is a door that you're allowing into your home, that you're allowing into your life each day. You need to know when to open and when to close the door. You need to be able to identify what thoughts are mine and what thoughts are the thoughts of social media. What are they planning in my head? What is this trying to convey to me? And be able to separate those from other thoughts. Do you understand what I mean? Can I ask a question? We have a lot of black women in here. Are you all bitter? Okay, because I get along pretty well every day. But if I check into social media, I'm supposed to be bitter and angry. I'm passionate as all get out. You know, I got a little neck roll and a little eye pop, but bitter I am not. And I have a lot of hope for us. You would think that we were bitter, mad, hateful, and angry. And the same thing for black men. You would believe that none of them take care of their children. Right? That's what you see. You can't find, like, according to them, you need a periscope, a microscope, and a looking glass to find one black man to take care of his children. That's a lie. A lot of us have strong black males in our house, and if our fathers couldn't do it, we had uncles or cousins or brothers who did it. Do not allow the lie to be perpetuated. Don't pass it on. Don't share it. Understand it and isolate it for what it is, because your children need to understand that they're human beings. Black people are not a monolith. Do you know what a monolith is? It means they believe that all of us are just one group clumped in together. I have separate feelings and emotions than you. I don't know you. We may not vote for the same person. We may not have the same ideals in life, right? Allow your children to be able to express themselves individually and pour into them that they are different and separate individuals. They're allowed to cry. They're allowed to laugh. None of us have to be hard. Your children don't have to be hard. They can be children. And finally, little boys can cry. If we were growing up in a 10th century Viking village, maybe they shouldn't be crying. My child can cry, he's a child. But we have to be able to accept that and encourage that, because otherwise you grow up with mean, angry people who never had an outlet and never knew how to appropriately express and explain their emotions. So I'm not going to keep y'all all day today, because I spoke downstairs too, so I'm going to let you go. But what I will say is this. Mental health services are available. I'm on the board of the Black Mental Health Alliance, where we provide resources to individuals who need it All you have to do is call the number. These days, I'll say just Google it. Just Google it, Black Mental Health Alliance, and you'll be able to be there to get resources. But also, I'm the Executive Director for BTST Services, which is an outpatient mental health clinic. We're at 1900 North Howard Street. And just so you know, we accept Medicaid, we accept fee-for-service, we accept all of it, just so you know that there's access here. Another issue that we have, we're trying to take away the barriers for people who get mental health services. Some of our people don't have, because we're talking about disenfranchised children, some of them don't have access to get to a place. So we wonder why. Why is it that they can't keep their appointments? They can't keep their appointments because their account will change between now and the next time they get a check or get paid. So we provide transportation to and from doctor's appointments. We also have culturally competent therapists and doctors as well, because that's what we need. People who can speak to the needs of the children that we have. So it's not exclusive just to Black people, but we're located in Baltimore, and you know what the population is here. So we work with the population that we have. And another thing too, teach your children it's okay to be proud of who you are and to be proud to be Black. Does not mean that you hate anyone else. It just means that there's a dignity. Teach them dignity and respect for themselves, because their lives matter. And we have to drill that. We have to push that home. That's all I have. Y'all take care, okay? All right, be blessed.
So excited. That made my day. That did make my day. That was awesome.
Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Guys, we're turning up at the end of our table. All of our awesome giveaways are almost gone.